What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Saturday. It is the last Saturday in March 30th, and we are back with another NBA video for you. So, March Madness is out there. MLB is back. So, NBA has 3 games today. I'm not really sure why. We're still going to cover it. We're still going to look at everything. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been back to the channel before, you know the drill. But we have a ton of new subscribers, which we're very excited about and very appreciative about. So, I know it's YouTube. I know it's sort of annoying, but a smaller channel like us, if you click on the ads, if you watch the ads, those help us out tremendously on top of what we bring you. If you've never been here before, we try to have 2 giveaways every single video. So every day, 2 ways to win on NBA, 2 ways to win on MLB. So how do we do this? Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. It's that simple. That'll have a chance for the comment picker to pick you up. The more people that comment, the better chances we have. So if any of our videos get at least 50 likes on them, you leave a like, you leave a comment, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If any of our videos get 100 likes, you have a chance to win a free month, 125 likes, a free year, and 150 or more likes on any video, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass that is worth $500. Now, we have opening day baseball, we had 151, or we had however many likes we had. Someone won, one of our subscribers won a $500 free lifetime pass, and we're very excited. We want to do that again for you. So if you have not already, go check out our MLB video, which I will link at the end of this video for MLB content. We dig deep into that as well. The second way to win every single day, like the video, be a subscriber, and tell me who is going to score the most amount of DraftKings fantasy points and how many fantasy points will they score. Whoever gets it closest without going over for NBA will win a free week of DFS content. And if you get it exactly correct, the player and the amount of DraftKings fantasy points, one guess per person, you will win a free month of FTA Plus. So, that being said, we do have FTA Plus. $24.99 a month will get you everything we talk about here and everything on the website. So, MLB, you can see everything we have for MLB. We've got NASCAR, everything we have for NBA, NFL, PGA, and stuff like that. So, we still are running a coupon code through tomorrow for the yearly pass. Normally $199 for the yearly pass. If you use the promo code MLBVIP, all one word, all capital letters, you'll get it for $75. It's first come, first serve, and it will never be back. It ends tomorrow. So, that being said, we have 3 NBA games today. It starts earlier than what we're used to at 4 p.m. Is it Central or Eastern? Okay. So it's 4 p.m., which is I don't know the last time I've ever seen it start like that, outside of like the day of the Super Bowl or something like that. But we're going to take a look at the Vegas odds. We're going to look at the players at each position in each game that makes sense. And then I'm going to give you my top 5 at each position. Now, in the description of this video is the article for today. Normally, when there's at least 5 games, we give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks with our projections. These projections are floor projections. They are known to change a little bit throughout the day. That's why I tell you in the description is our Discord. Go check out our Discord. We give you core plays. We give you value plays, as well as sports betting. And we hit a home run parlay last night we're very excited about for baseball. We round robin $5 for 3 home runs, and we got 2 of the 3. So we won 115, I think, 120, 130 actually. So we're very excited, and that's what we do for MLB. So looking at the lines real quick, we got Celtics at Pelicans. As of right now, Celtics -6, 6-point favorite right here. We've got Grizzlies versus Magic. The Magic are a 13-point favorite. You never want to see a massive double-digit blowout possibility when there's only 3 games on the slate, because you got to get the right Magic players, and we're going to look at them. And then we got the Hawks versus Bucks. Bucks are only 4.5-point favorite right now, which is surprising to me, is what we look at. So then you look at the over-unders. Celtics, Pelicans, 223. Not bad, right in the middle. Grizzlies, Magic, with Magic being a double-digit favorite at 206. Not the best. So you've got to be able to target the correct NBA players that are going to put up those fantasy points. Hopefully they're not distributed evenly where we don't get a ton. And then the Bucks versus the Hawks, over under of 225 as we speak. So those are the over-unders. Just kind of going through who's out. Trae Young's out, Damian Lillard's out, Desmond Bane is out, Brandon Ingram, Vince Williams Jr. I mean, there's a lot of players out right now. It will open up value at other positions. It will help us build a lineup. So at the end of this video, we will build a lineup. So all of the tools we have for NBA, Vegas odds, NBA bets, simulation models, player trends, so on and so forth. So with MLB, if you watch the video, we give you plays after we simulated 10,000 times. So we do 20,000 simulations a day and give you the top plays. So we've already done 10,000 for NBA, and we will definitely look at those plays. And hopefully this helps you bring home the bacon if you are, in fact, still playing NBA. Some people are. Some people have kind of tapered off. I have tapered off a little bit because we're getting to the point of the season where it's not the best for teams that are in or out or playing for playoffs. They kind of go back and forth. So let's take a look game by game since there's only 3 games. In this matchup that could potentially be a blowout or a high-scoring affair, you want to get the players you can. So a Jason Tatum, a Williamson, Jaylen Brown, like you guys know these higher-priced guys. But you got to find the value. So a Peyton Pritchard, he is going up in price, which kind of stinks. Sam Hauser a little bit, I don't mind. Najee Marshall, I'm okay with Marshall. Larry Nance and Luke Cornett are ones I'd look at as well. What I've told people, if you're new to the channel, do not follow this rank right here. This is wrong. I don't know how DraftKings gets that. It's completely off. People think it's DVP, so they're like Jason Tatum, 7th DVP. But if we go into this and I look at Jason Tatum, his DVP's 15th, so it's 8 better than what it shows. So 15th's in the middle, and it's just for whatever reason it's completely different. So I do want to go position by position after we look at these value plays and give you my top 5 as well. So Memphis versus Orlando, Bane, Williams, Smart, all out for Memphis opens up value. Paolo obviously played yesterday. 37 fantasy points at 8,600. They dropped his price a little bit. You would love to see, obviously, more than 37. Jaren Jackson Jr. For Memphis. I mean, he's with all these guys with Memphis out, it's got to be Jackson's game right now. He had 2 days off, so should be good. I mean, Scottie Pippen should get some run here. We see 26, 23, 26, 27, 25. Those are the kind of minutes we're looking for out of Pippen. At his price of 5,300, you would obviously love to see 32, 33. But these work, especially on a small 3-game slate like this. Contra here. Okay, so he's out. He's doubtful. Cole Anthony is a value pick for Orlando. You'd look at Wendell Carter Jr. I would look at Jake LaRavia. I don't mind at all at 4,400. I mean, he almost had 10 times value against the Lakers. I think people are going to see that. The minutes were there. It was a high-scoring game, but he was on fire that game. 7 3-pointers made out of 9. Obviously, that's a really good shooting night. 42 fantasy points. Pretty much what you're looking for NBA, 7 times value at the bare minimum. So 4,400, just to give you the exact number, you're basically looking for 30.8 fantasy points out of him, which you can get that. He got that his last game, has not hit that a while, but if we can get other players to get 7 times, we should be good. So I honestly don't mind LaRavia. I don't mind Jonathan Isaac as a cheap $4,200 option. I remember when he was down here to 3,000. The minutes have fluctuated for Isaac. That's very true. And in a potential blowout, I think if it is a blowout, we could see Isaac getting more minutes than 16 minutes if it is a blowout here, which that's exactly what you need for these kind of plays. Then we go down to Milwaukee versus Atlanta. We've got Young out, Lillard out, Okongwu out. Antetokounmpo is questionable. He probably plays. Middleton is probable, so he'll play. Love me some Middleton at 6,600 with Damian Lillard being out for sure. Bobby Portis is another one that should see some run if he's out. 16 minutes is not enough, but you see he was getting 30 plus there. So there are just other plays that you could look at if you want to go a little bit lower. Malik Beasley with Lillard being out at 4,800 is a good value there. I do love Bruno Fernando, I love us some Vit. We've used Vit a while. Screwed us over the last game, but he's held his own when we've used him outside of that game against Boston, and it was a close game. So this game should stay close, so we'll see if Vit gets the run there. Other cheaper, Pat Connaughton. Could be looking at Pat. Nothing going on there. Jay Crowder. Really hasn't done much with value. Did I miss him? Patrick Beverly, 3,600 questionable. He's probable. He does have a torn ligament in his wrist, but he's still playing. Even with that, he played only 7 minutes in that game, 2.5. So he could see some run here. Again, though, he does have a torn ligament, so I don't know if that's going to affect him. And if with Lillard being out, Beverly is a tournament option. Today is one of those days where it's a smaller slate. You got to get a little creative there. So those are some of the plays. I do want to give you the top 5 at each position, along with their DVP and along with the current floor projections we've got them for. So we are looking at number 1, Dejounte Murray, point guard. Second DVP, so not the best DVP for him, but if it's a game that stays close, I think he's got to stay in it, and he's got to be ready, and he's got to score a ton for Atlanta with the players being out. We're looking at about 51 to 55 fantasy point range. Number 2 is CJ McCollum, 5th DVP, so not the best DVP. We're looking right around 40 fantasy points out of him. I've got Derek White here, 12th DVP. Him and Drew Holiday, Derek White just edged him a little, 35 fantasy points there. Number 3 is Jalen Suggs, 5th DVP here, but we got him right around 25 fantasy points. Number 4 is actually Scottie Pippen. I do like Scottie Pippen Jr. here. 11th DVP, about 25 fantasy points. And then Cole Anthony at 4,900. He's got the 5th DVP, but we got 22 to 25 fantasy point range. And then honorable mentions here, Peyton Pritchard, about 22 fantasy points. And Vit, like we said, has got a great matchup, 25th DVP. He's got to get those minutes, though. We're looking about 15 to 20-ish fantasy points out of him. So we move to shooting guard. If the game stays close, we've got Jaylen Brown, 11th DVP, but about 36 to 40 fantasy points. Bogdan Bojanovic, he's got a great matchup, 25th DVP here, about 33 to 36 fantasy point range through 10,000 simulations. Those simulations will update throughout the day, and you can kind of see that from there. Number 3 is Trey Murphy, the 3rd, 4th DVP, about 32 fantasy points. Number 4 is Malik Beasley, 9th DVP here. We're looking about 22 to 25. And then I've got Luke Kennard, 7th DVP, not the best, about 20 to 25. So through the first 10,000 simulations, there's not a lot to like about this slate. I'm going to be playing very, very low, probably one lineup, and that's it. I'm focused. I'm hyper-focused on MLB, bringing you guys the best content there, but I wanted to bring you NBA content because people are still playing. But this is a terrible it's a terrible slate. 3-game slates just make no sense. Moving to small forward, Jason Tatum, 15 DVP here. Right around 50 fantasy points, and I don't mind that, especially at 9,800. Again, that's only about 5 times value, but it's a small slate. Then we've got number 2 is Chris Middleton, should be playing 9th DVP, but with Lillard being out, I love me some Middleton here, looking about 33 to 35 fantasy points. Number 3 is Franz Wagner, 23rd DVP, so pretty good DVP for him, and we've got right around 32 fantasy points. Number 4 is Gregory Jackson against Orlando in a game that they should be playing from behind, so he might get extra run. 5th DVP here. Man, his price has gone up to 6,000. We're looking about 28 to 30 fantasy points, so basically right at about 5 times value. And then number 5 is DeAndre Hunter in a game that hopefully stays 4.5 or stays close. Best DVP for him, 30th DVP. It's only 5,600 on DraftKings and 26 to 30 fantasy point range. Moving to power forward, I don't think it's a surprise. Giannis at the top. This shows 26th OPRK, but it's 28th DVP, so he's in a great matchup. He's obviously going to be the highest owned person. He's going to be the highest priced person. We're looking at about 60 fantasy points out of him. You obviously would like 6 times value, 66. We could see that. He's got a great matchup with Lillard being out, it should be Giannis's team. He's got the questionable tag, which he'll probably own that the rest of the year. But I love me some Giannis here at number 1. Number 2 is Zion. The matchup here, not the best, 7th DVP, but we got him projected right around 42 fantasy points. We got Kristaps Porzingis, 5th DVP, so not good. And people have asked, what is DVP? But it's defense versus position. So how bad the defense is against this particular position and this player. Porzingis about 34 to 36 fantasy points. Jalen Johnson, is he in or out? Questionable. Has not played 5 games, probably off of him. Bobby Portis is one that I'll look at for number 4. 25th DVP, 5,600. Love me some Bobby here. We're looking about 27 to 32 fantasy point range. And then number 5, Jake LaRavia, 4,400, 5th DVP. We're looking about 22 to 25 fantasy points. Then we have the center position. With all the players out for Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. up here at the top, because we've already gone Giannis for power forward. But Jackson Jr., 2nd DVP, not the best. But again, he's got to be the one that scores if they want to stay in this game. We're looking about 36 to 40 fantasy points out of him. Number 2 is Clint Capella in this game that should stay close. 12th deep. Milwaukee is 12th against the opposing centers. We're looking right around 32 to 35 fantasy points. Number 3 is Brook Lopez, 24th DVP against Atlanta. They are not good against the center. We're looking about 24 to 26 fantasy points. A couple of value options. Wendell Carter Jr., 25th DVP, a great matchup for him at 5,000. 24 to 26 fantasy points. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for more than that. And then a cheaper option, like I talked about, that I'll probably have. Jonathan Isaac, 23rd DVP, same thing. Isaac's both power forward and center. Got Jonathan Isaac, 23rd DVP, looking about 20 to 25 fantasy point range for him. So there you have it. Those are the top 5s at each position with some value that's thrown in there. We obviously will have more on the site. If you go under the NBA tab, we'll have the NBA bets there. We'll have our simulations, player trends, fantasy points allowed by position, DFS chalk, our top plays, even our projections along with our cheat sheet. So let's build a lineup. We're just going to get a little bit crazy. We're going to look at some value. We're going to look at some ways to go about it. The ones that have, chances. We got to build a tournament lineup. And I'm going to build you a tournament lineup. So we didn't talk about him, but Dyson Daniels. If he's in, he is questionable, but probable. Has not played since February 9th. We're probably, 3,300 allows us to do a lot in this game. In a game where they should be playing from behind, we should see some run out of him. And we could see what he did when he played 22, 23, 28, all at 30, 32, 3,500. Was 3,600 against the Lakers. 3,300 is going to allow us to do a lot. You got to find that value. You got to go under-owned on today's slate. So we're looking at him. As of right now, projected right around 8% ownership. So again, if it was a massive slate, his ownership would be like 3%. So we got Dyson Daniels there. Another one is Bojanovic. We talked about that. His matchup here. Love what he's bringing to the table. The minutes have been there. With all of the injuries for the Hawks, 40 fantasy points is not out of the realm of possibility. So he is one I'm looking at. Another one, we talked about this in the video. Middleton, with Lillard being out, him being probable, we are good to go. He's averaging about 30.7 fantasy points per game. One we did not talk about was the other Wagner brother, 3,500. You got to find a couple of these value to be able to fit Giannis in there, and we're going to fit Giannis in there. So the minutes were probably about 20 minutes, especially if the game is out of control. He should get a little bit extra run there, and I don't mind him. If he gets 20 plus for his price, you can't go wrong with a little bit of mo. So we get to center position. Where are we going to go with center position? You got all these guys that we talked about. You paid up for all these guys. Who did we not talk about? Brandon Clark. Game log, played one game against the Lakers, 20 minutes, probably what we're looking for. Took a year to recover from that. 15.75, 5 times value, 3,300. I don't mind him. Early play with all the players being out for Memphis, you got to get cheap. If you can get a center that could get 5 times value at 3,300, we're probably looking pretty good. So then that brings me to Dejounte Murray here. Love me some Dejounte Murray. he's got to score for Atlanta. That's one I'm paying up for. Another one I'm paying up for, I think you already know, is Giannis. And then that allows us 6,200 for a utility spot. So you can really go anywhere with 6,200. Clint Capella, Aldama, Gregory Jackson, Bobby Portis. You could go anywhere with this. I think I'm going to go with Capella right now. Now, things can change. These are through 10,000 simulations. We see the ownership percentage. We see how many they've got, 6 times value, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, stuff like that. About 2 hours before tip-off, I rerun the 10,000 or 20,000 simulations. Then in the Discord, I'll give you top plays. I'll give you value plays, core plays, and stuff like that. So this is one lineup. I will look at it. This is one I will enter. And if anything changes when I do some simulations, we will update that on the website as well. So that's what I've got in this 3-game mini slate. We will look towards it at the end of this video. Don't forget to check out the MLB content. I think you'll like it. They are extra longer videos than what you're used to, but unlike other Twitter people, YouTube people, or X, YouTube, yes, some people just want these 5 plays and that's it. I dig into the games. We do game analysis. Pitchers, batters. We even did our top 20 batters for today. Go check out that video. Give it some love. If you watch this video and that video, you have 4 ways to win FTA Plus. 4. Go check them out. That's what I've got in this video. Good luck today. And as always, bring home that bacon. Peace.